I wanted to show you guys today some of my strategies for finding new rides and how I would load them into an offline map. So I would be, if I'm going to go into a new area, I want to be able to be safe and kind of know where I'm going, even though I'm out adventuring and finding new rides. So one of the rides that I'm really interested in checking out is called Grouse Ridge, and it's up near Truckee off of 80. And this is an old MTBR thread that I found about the Grouse Ridge trails. So this is a typical thing. You're looking for a new trail to ride and you're on MTBR and you're starting to kind of look through and you're like, okay, where is this? And this is a reply in the thread by Empty Beer, who's a very respected MTBR user. And he does a lot of ride reports and a lot of cool Sierra type stuff, kind of off the beaten path. So he's got this map here. We're going to take a look at it. And so it's got Carr Lake. You park here, you go down, you go up Sand Ridge. And this is a couple years old. And so it's kind of up to you to kind of be like, okay, how can I figure this out? So the first thing that I do is I go into Strava. So I've got a decent idea of where this is. So I'm going to go into Strava here. And I know it's around Truckee, California. A little bit off to the west here. Lake Spalding, and I'm pretty sure this right here is Carr Lake. Yep, okay, so you can see just for a second there that Strava route kind of came to life. So sweet. So this is basically the route that I'm looking for. That's what the map looked like on Empty Beer's post. So we're close here. So now it's a matter of finding a segment. So I'm going to look at this segment that kind of highlights everything. This segment says 0 attempts. So it's like, okay, will I be able to backtrack and actually get a GPS data from that? I don't think so. Let's pick a good one here. So I'm going to look at this segment here from the north. It kind of cuts in right here. Let's give it a try. So I'm going to click view details. So now I'm on the segment page and I start looking into the activities down below and seeing these are the King of the Mountain people. They've ridden the route, and I just start opening everything up in a new tab and I start looking at their activities to see if their map kind of matches what I'm looking for. I can already tell that this is not quite what I'm looking for. It's kind of what I'm looking for, but not quite. I'm looking for some track over here. So I'll close that tab. No, that's way too much. No, not what I'm looking for. Now I think I've been through this again, and John Mitchell down here had the track that matches up pretty well with what I'm looking to do. Yes, all right. So if we zoom out, you can see this activity matches pretty damn close to what Empty Beer posted. So it's 17 miles, 3 hours, 2,200 feet of elevation gain. I've read a lot about Grouse Ridge and that the miles out there are like dog miles, just really tough stuff. So now I'm here. So I've got this framework. And if you click on this thing right here, this wrench, I'm going to click Create Route. Strava's going to create this route, and it's pretty funky. So I'm going to uncheck Use Popularity, and it'll kind of start to form the black and the red kind of sort of line up. It's not great. It's not perfect, but most turns, most critical spaces here are marked. Here's an area where the trail is not lining up, and here's an area where the trail is not lining up. So you should be able to drag and drop points. This thing is pretty buggy, but at least it gives us a framework. It gives us a basic idea. Better than nothing, I would say, right? So we kind of know that Hopefully there'll be a spot here that kind of goes off and climbs instead of going straight up this thing, and that here there's going to be some kind of maybe clearly marked bike route here. So I'm going to save this route. Make it private. Now I'm going to view the route. And once you have a route created, you can export it. And I'm just going to download GPX because once you get a GPX file, you can do a lot of things with it. Now, since I'm a Strava Premium member and I just signed up for it just to be able to play with this, is that I have access to actually download the GPX file directly. So I don't have to first create a route and then kind of look at it all fucked up. I can directly download this GPX file. So now that I've got one piece of the puzzle, I've got this ride, I want to actually get it onto an offline map. So the offline mapping app that I use is called Gaia GPS. It is $20. That seems pretty steep, but we've all spent thousands and thousands of dollars on our bikes, on our gear. I think spending 20 bucks for a map that actually works is not a bad proposition. So let's go to the map here. So the first thing I want to show you is when I went to Utah this summer, I downloaded a couple of GPX files and added them to this Gaia map system so I could know that when I'm riding the Park City IMBA Epic, where I'm at. So the awesome thing about Gaia is that you download these maps offline, and then your phone doesn't really need to have any connection except for a GPS connection for your little blue dot to show up on the map as you ride. So I'm going to this place all by myself, didn't know anything about it. I just knew it was a good place to ride. So I had a lot of confidence that I was going to be in the right spot with my blue dot on the map as long as I followed the red line. So let's search for Truckee, California, and let's go to that general area that we were just in near Grouse Ridge. So that looks like, yeah, okay, I see it now. It's that faint outline right there of that trail. So the first thing I want to do is actually get driving directions to this place. So if I'm going to create a route here, I'll start here. Actually, I should probably make this a cycling route. We'll see if that matters. So I'm starting here because this is the parking area. And I'm going to go down to highway. Oh, and I accidentally clicked, so let's kill that. I'm going to go down here to the highway. And let's say we're starting at Highway 20. Sweet. Or actually, let's say we're starting a little bit further up. Yes. Okay. So let's check this out. Does this look right to you? That does look right to me. I've looked at Google Maps. It's a very similar track. So this is great. So this gives me the driving directions. So I'll save this. Highway 20 to Car Lake. So now I've got offline driving directions, not just offline mountain biking directions. You know, service is terrible in these places, and it looks like this is a crisscrossing fire road area where it's easy to take maybe the wrong trail. There's probably signs all along the way for Car Lake, but hate to rely on a sign in this day and age. So cool, I've got that first track going. So let's go back to the map. And it is possible to draw that route. Since this trail is marked, it's possible to draw the route just like we did with this driving direction. But since we have the GPX file, I'd rather just upload this GPX file to this map and have it the right way instead of trying to like use this not quite right map. Because you can see right here the trail has got that flat head on it. We know on the GPX it's got kind of an easier switchback route that goes up. So to do this, I'm going to go here to my little avatar here, and I'm going to upload, select a GPX file, and now I'm going to do the afternoon ride GPX because that's the one that was the one that I downloaded directly from the ride. that wasn't the route that I created. Sweet. Looks good. It's got those double spikes at the top. Afternoon ride. All right, so see if I can rename this or... Yep, okay, so Grouse Ridge. I'm gonna save it. And let's make sure it's public, so if anyone else wants to actually download this, you're welcome to do it. Cool, so if we go back to the map, you can see we've got our driving track, and now I've got my mountain biking track. And let's go back into that track real quick. I just want to see if it shows elevation, what kind of mileage it shows. So that track was called Afternoon Ride. Yes, okay, it does show elevation. So it shows this, drops off, goes back around. Great. I just wanted to kind of make sure. And this is actually the stats of that guy, John Mitchell, that I downloaded. So it was 17 miles, an hour and 43 minutes of moving time. I'm sure it took a lot longer than that. I think this is probably a pretty fast run, so I'm anticipating it's going to take me a lot longer. So now that I've got these routes loaded into Gaia GPS, let's actually load it up on the phone and do some work there to get it going. So this is Gaia GPS in the App Store. So I just logged in to my Gaia GPS. So now that I'm in Gaia GPS, I'm going to start clicking around the map and see if anything pops up. Yep, there it is. There's our driving direction track, and then there's our afternoon ride. Now that I have this, go away. So now that I have this little slice here, I want to download it and have it offline, so I don't need an internet connection. So I'm going to click on this top right button here, and I'm going to go to Download Maps, and you can see I've got this nice little box that I draw, and you can see in the top right I have max zoom set at 15, which is 1,000 tiles, and it's only 21 megabytes. If you want to go even crazier, you can get to 16 and it'll be 78 megabytes, but let's go to 15. That's fine by me. I'm going to click save, and we'll call it Grouse Ridge. Now, this Gaia GPS also has kind of Strava-esque things to it, features to it. So down at the bottom, you can see press and hold the stats. You can take pictures. You can record your rides. At one point, I was going to try to mark every wild animal sighting that I had made with a little marker. So it would kind of save the date and time of when I saw, a bear, when I saw this, when I saw that. And I just thought that'd be really neat. I never followed up with it, but how cool would it be just to have all these like markers on a map of all your different wildlife sightings? All right, it's all a success. So I'm gonna hit done. And then I guess I'll go to airplane mode here, turn off Wi-Fi. Settings say Wi-Fi's off, even though that's the marker. So there's only one way to prove that, is if we zoom in on some dead zone, we can see that Wi-Fi is not on. But if we start zooming in on the area of the map that I downloaded, we can see. And I just realized I kind of downloaded a Bootsy topo map, which is okay. There's just other layers that are kind of better. The OpenStreetMap layers I kind of like, but this is kind of cool, this topo. So if we were standing right here in the middle of this map, our blue dot would be there, and we'd be able to see that there's quite a little bit of there's 4 forks here of the trail. So we'd want to hang right if we're heading out. We're going to go up Sand Ridge, come back down, then we're going to hang another right and come up. So I hope you guys can use this in your ride adventures and planning out your rides and feeling more comfortable about your rides and going off into some adventuring areas. If you guys use offline maps with a different iOS app, let me know, because I know the $20 app is kind of crazy to some people, but for me, you're paying for a map that is going to be very solid, that's going to work offline, and you've really got some good peace of mind going out into the wilderness. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you out on the trail.
It's been very nice. It ate up the trails. The SRAM X01 gear was really nice. The only complaint I had is that the bars are really wide. I like that the bars are really wide, but it felt like I was going to clip a lot of different trees. They're just wider than the SB66 that I have. So that was